Hi, my name is Ken Graves. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and this is Sarah Burney. She's a licensed clinical social worker, and we're here with KG Psychological Services of Orange County, and we're going to talk today about
what causes eating disorders.
And I can say in my experience, overarching, the number one question I receive is what causes eating disorders? From a parent perspective, oftentimes we get feelings of guilt, shame. I caused this. I should have seen it sooner. And the feedback I give is you didn't do anything wrong, and this is meant to be. What are some reactions you have when you share that with parents?
Yeah, what happens a lot is that, like you said, parents or loved ones in general can feel super responsible. Or what have I done? How did I cause this? Right? And even sometimes the individuals struggling with eating disorders can say, like, what happened? I didn't plan for this to happen. I never thought this would happen to me. Right? And so the answer I give is usually there's a multitude of reasons that eating disorders develop. Right? And so it's not like this one thing happened and now I have an eating disorder. And it's really easy to start to think that, but the truth of the matter is, it's really just a mix of both nature and nurture, right? You want to speak more to that?
Yeah, so, they have the old analogy, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Personally, I think the chicken came first, but you can make a strong argument that the egg came first, because if the chicken came first, where did the chicken come from? People would say the egg. You say where the egg come from, it came from the chicken. So this idea of nature versus nurture, it's really important to understand. It's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. So in order for the complete puzzle, you have to have different pieces of the puzzle. And by and all, we see commonalities in most eating disorders. So let's just kind of list off what some of those puzzle pieces are. First is genetic. So we know that there's a very strong proponent of eating disorders through a genetic faculty. So guarantee there's usually a family member in the genetic line that has some form of eating disorders. What's another piece that you see?
We have a lot of traits that are in line with people with eating disorders. And there is some differentiation between the different types of eating disorders, right? But across the board, people with eating disorders tend to be highly perfectionistic, high achieving, sensitive temperament, people pleasing, right? And we're speaking to this not just based on our opinion, but also this is what the research shows. Though I will give the caveat that the research is largely based on anorexia and bulimia and does not, the latest research does not yet include binge eating disorder or other eating disorders like RFID or EDNOS and stuff. So It's an important thing to know.
So we have that temperament. Another one is our social settings, right? So we live in Southern California, home of the beautiful people. There's a lot of social extremes and social comparisons. I have to look like X, Y, and Z. You can go on any grocery store and see magazine after magazine after magazine talking about this social construct of what image and body image and beauty looks like. Not only that, but you have these expectations of starting to become your identity. People will only love me if I look like X, Y, and Z. So definitely our social environment can definitely be a factor.
Right, and when we're speaking to that, it's important to know that society influences people in different ways, right? We can all go through the same experience, and each of us is going to have a different type of response, right? Based on our previous experiences, but also based on our genetic makeup, right? And this is after a variety of research done on twin studies and all kinds of things. And so just because X occurred doesn't mean that I'm guaranteed going to have an eating disorder. But X, given all these other factors, the stars really have aligned to develop an eating disorder.
Yeah. So the best and quickest answer is there can be a lot of different things involved. And, the feedback I give is it's really important to meet with a professional. Sarah and I are both certified, so we're certified in working with eating disorders. And it's really important to be able to meet with someone who can give you an assessment, give you an idea if you have an eating disorder, disordered eating. That could definitely be something we can explore a little bit later on. But it's really important to get that assessment in place and get with a professional who can help you determine what level of care is most appropriate and how to move forward from there.
Yeah, I kind of want to double down on that. It's really important for us both as professionals and just as people seeking treatment to make sure that we're going to people that are specialized in what they're treating, and especially with eating disorders that are such a specific, they have such a specific presentation, and a lot of times treatment is very counterintuitive, right? So strongly recommend therapist, dietitian, psychiatrist, and a general physician. And those really are like that's like the standard of like the 5 stars of treatment.
For sure. And so definitely continue to keep following along. We have a YouTube channel that's going to be started. Feel free to follow along. We're going to post videos along the way, asking an eating disorder therapist. There's a lot of topics out there, and there's a big need for really great education out there. So keep following us.